So now you know what type of business to start, and you know that you need to take action and make it happen for yourself. And as you start doing this, you will realize that there's one secret ingredient that you might be missing. And whenever I do big talks in front of large audiences, all of the entrepreneurs, they ask me the same question. Albert, what is the biggest secret to become a millionaire? Do you want to know what that is? Okay, the biggest secret to becoming a millionaire is... Do you really want to know what that is? Okay, I won't trick you again. The biggest secret to becoming a millionaire or to become financially successful is that wealth starts in the mind. Wealth starts in the mind. In order to become a millionaire or billionaire, you need to think like a millionaire or a billionaire. Millionaires and billionaires see the world differently to what you are seeing the world right now. And it's the same with the other disciplines. If you want to become that best doctor or that top lawyer or that great engineer or that entrepreneur or business owner, then you need to understand that they think differently than what you are thinking like right now. And you need to change your mindset in order to think like them so that you can act like them and so that you can do things like they would do things and so that you can eventually become them. And that is the secret. Wealth starts in the mind. So we need to change our mindset if we want to become wealthy. Now, this might be difficult if you were born and raised in a family like mine, where my parents were not wealthy property investors, entrepreneurs, or business owners. If your parents were like mine, that came from a lower income class household, then they most probably have a lower income class mindset. And think about your parents or your family or your teachers at school. Were they millionaires or billionaires? Were they property investors or big business owners? Well, if they weren't, then they most probably didn't have that type of mindset, and they taught you accordingly. They gave their best to teach you the best that they can. But unfortunately, they might have taught you from a lower income class mindset. So what type of mindset do you think have you learned or adapted for yourself? And that was my biggest challenge. Changing my lower income class mindset into a wealth mindset, into a millionaire, billionaire mindset. I'm still working on that every day. Because that's the only way that you can become financially successful, if you have a financially successful mindset and if you think like a financially successful person. So we need to change our mindset. But let's start with a practical exercise. What I want you to do is I want you to take a piece of paper, right? And write down all of the content that you consume on a daily basis. Think about who you follow on social media, what type of videos you're looking at on YouTube, what type of people you're following on Instagram, Facebook, what type of podcasts you're listening to or music you're listening to on Spotify. Think about what programs you're watching on Netflix or DSTV or wherever you consume your content. What type of content are you taking in? What type of books are you reading? What type of TV are you watching? What type of newspapers or TikToks are you looking at? Write down everything and be honest. Like, go through your feed and look at what type of content are you consuming. Are you following certain celebrities, sports stars, or are you looking at friends and family's content, or are you following the news, or maybe some interesting topic that you like? What type of content are you taking in? Now pause the video for a second and write down all of the content that you constantly take in on a daily basis. And then we'll continue from there. Finished? Are you done? Okay, perfect. Now let's get back to changing our mindset. But before we can figure out how to change our mindset, we first need to understand how our mindset works, right? How does our mind work? And to easily explain it, we can use the example of a glass of water. Imagine your brain is exactly the same as a glass of water. What happens if you fill a glass of water up to the brim and then you try to throw in more water? It overflows, right? It overflows. And our brain is exactly the same. At any given second, we consume about 50 million bits of data in our unconscious mind. Imagine that as the water that tries to get into the glass. And our glass is our conscious mind. And our conscious mind can only handle about 7 to 11 items at any given time. So all of these items, all of these bits of data tries to get into the glass. But there's a regulator, which is called your reticular activating system. It's a physical thing in your brain. And that reticular activating system decides what goes into the glass and what becomes the overflow. So when all that water comes towards your brain, comes towards your glass, your reticular activating system decides what goes in the glass until it's full, and then your reticular activating system deletes the rest, all of the overflow. And you've experienced this. Whenever you drive on the highway, think about your favorite car. Is it a BM? Is it an Audi, a Merc, maybe a Range Rover? Whenever you drive on the highway, you see a million cars passing you in the left-hand lane, right? But you can't remember their brands or their colors. But as soon as your favorite car drives by, you immediately see it, right? This happened to me as well. I recently bought a Range Rover. And when I drive on the highway, there's a million cars. And I can't remember any of their brands or colors or even seeing them because my reticular activating system deleted them. They were all part of the overflow. So my unconscious mind saw all of these cars and the brands, but my reticular activating system says, this is not in the glass, delete. This is overflow. This is overflow. Delete. Until the Range Rover drives by, and then I immediately see it. Because I want that in my glass. Because I'm thinking about it. Because I'm driving one. Because it's part of my interest and what I think about on a daily basis. And therefore, it's in my glass. And then my reticular activating system says, this needs to go into the conscious mind. And he says, oh, but look, there's your Range Rover. Does this make sense? And you know this has happened to you as well. As soon as that favorite car drives by, you immediately see it, even though you haven't noticed all of the other cars driving by. Now, my question to you at this stage is, what are you not seeing? What are you missing in life? What is the overflow in your life? Whenever you walk through life, what is the overflow? What gets deleted that you never even see? And this happens a lot. When I work with startup entrepreneurs, they always tell me, oh, but I can't see any opportunities. I can't see ways to make money. And then I will chat with them for a few minutes and I would say, okay, but here's a way you can make money. Here's an opportunity right in front of you. Here's something you can do. Here's something you can do. Why can't they see it? The opportunity is right in front of them. It's not part of what's inside their glass. Their reticular activating system deletes that information because it's not what they focus on. And that happens. Before I started buying property, I would drive through the neighborhood and see the nice houses and the green lawns and nice rabbits and everything on there. But I never saw the for sale signs until I started focusing on buying property, until I became a property investor. Now I cannot drive anywhere without seeing for sale signs because my reticular activating system is focused on that because my glass is filled with being a property investor. And therefore, I see it wherever I go. Now, why am I telling you this? Because if you want to become a millionaire, you need to fill your glass with millionaire stuff so that your reticular activating system can delete the rest and show you the millionaire stuff. If that is as simple as it can be said. You see, if you want to become a millionaire, you need to learn from a millionaire. If you want to become the best lawyer, you need to learn from the best lawyer. If you want to become the best engineer, you need to learn from the best engineer. Because what happens if you fill your mind, your glass of water, with engineering stuff, then whenever you go, wherever you go, you'll see engineering stuff everywhere. Because your reticular activating system shows it to you, and the rest gets deleted. So what are you missing? What gets deleted in your life? What are the things that you're not even seeing, even though they're right in front of you? Maybe it's opportunities or ways to make money that you're missing because your reticular activating system are showing you the wrong things. Because you're filling your glass, your mind, with the wrong things. And our job is to guide our reticular activating system to show us the correct things. How can we do that? By changing what we put in our glass. By changing the content that we consume, that we take in. If you want to become the best golfer in the world, you need to listen to golfing podcasts. You need to follow golfers on social media. You need to read golfing magazines. You need to read golfing books to perfect your swing. You need to start getting into the mind of golfers. You need everything. There need to be posters of golfers on your wall. Everything you do should be focused on golfers. And then you'll see your mind is going to prefer golfing content. And before you know it, you start thinking just like a golfer. And it's the same with business and entrepreneurship. Look at that list that we wrote down earlier. That content that you're currently taking in. Will that content make you a millionaire? Is that content sufficient to create wealth for you? Does that content make you think like an entrepreneur or a business owner? Most probably not. So the only way you can change that is by consuming millionaire, entrepreneur, business, financial content. So I want to do another practical exercise. Underneath that list that we wrote down previously, write a new list of new content that you want to start consuming. What type of content do you want to consume now so that it will change what your reticular activating system is looking for? Because it changed what you focus on. And then it will start changing what you think about. And then it will start changing what you see in the world around you. Think about that for a second. And then write down all of the new content that you want to take in. If you want to become wealthy and a millionaire and a billionaire, you need to start reading books about entrepreneurs, millionaires, and business persons. If you want to become wealthy or have great financial success, you need to follow great financial successful people on social media platforms. You need to follow the millionaires on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and LinkedIn and all over. You need to consume their content. You need to listen to the Millionaire and Entrepreneur podcasts. And I did this since I was in primary school. I started reading one business book after the other. And eventually my mind started thinking like an entrepreneur. And I started changing the way I see the world. And I started seeing the world differently, and I started seeing opportunities all around me. And then I could start acting on those opportunities. And that is how I built my entrepreneurial career. And I would say that this concept, the fact that wealth starts in the mind, is the most valuable concept in my journey to creating wealth for myself. And you can apply this concept right now. So after you've written down your new content that you want to start taking in, I want you to practically go and do it. Go on Takealot and order the books that you're going to read about entrepreneurs and business and finances. Go on your social media platforms and start following successful entrepreneurs and millionaires and business owners. Start changing the content around you, and I promise you very, very quickly, you're going to start thinking about those things because you're focusing on them, and then you're going to start seeing them all around you. And before you know it, you are thinking just like that millionaire that you want to become. And then obviously down the line, you will become that millionaire or that billionaire that you're looking up to. And it is possible. Now, in the last 3 videos, I've shared 3 very important concepts with you that I believe if you use them and apply them in your life, that you would be able to create financial success for yourself. right? Understand what type of business to start. Understand that you need to take action and make it happen for yourself. And understand that you need to consume the correct content to build the correct financial education foundation for yourself in order to achieve that success. And if you have these three concepts done and dusted, there's no way that you cannot be successful and create your own financial future. But if you feel like you want more, you want a little bit more in-depth content, then I have that for you. You see, I've taken all of my experience, lessons learned, tools, tips and techniques that I've gathered over the years of becoming a self-made millionaire, and I put it all together in an online course for you. And together with Junior Tikkie, we are empowering the youth of South Africa with this course, with this financial education, to equip them to create financial success for themselves, to create financial success for you. And you can go on my website today, www.millionaire22.com, go take the Young Millionaire course and then use the coupon below, the Junior Tikkie coupon, to get a big discount on the online course when you take it. Remember, financial education and the content that you consume is the foundation to becoming wealthy. It is the biggest secret. So don't neglect this one.